how do I put this?
So you believe in The Rock, but you don't respect him.
What?
No, I flipped that.
What? I believe it. Dwayne Johnson?
Yeah.
I believe and respect him
Oh, okay, good.
because he's a real person. Hello, welcome to another edition of Popcorn Bucket List. And one of the first things you'll probably notice is that Ryan's not sitting where he usually is. That's because he robbed a bank last week and he's currently still on the run. Authorities are asking for you to keep an eye out for him. He is not armed but dangerous, not because of any weaponry, but because he will keep you in conversation for 20 minutes longer than you wanted to. So
That's actually how he held up the bank.
that's actually how he held up. They just started giving him the money to get him to leave.
Yeah, they were like, shut up and leave,
That's
please.
That's exactly how it
We
happened.
have a line out of the bank.
Yeah, exactly.
It made it for the police to get in there pretty easy, but by the time they...
Yeah, by the time they got there.
Well, he was talking their ear off too, and then he
Yeah.
slipped out. He's not to take your role, but he's kind of like Batman in that way.
Yeah, in a weird way.
Yeah.
Yeah, in a weird way, I like that, I suppose. No, obviously, we're kidding here. Happy to announce, apparently a sixth member of the family has entered the chat, so to speak, over at the Meyerberg home. So we're super happy for them. We kind of knew it was going to happen around this time, so we hadn't really been talking about it on the show, but kind of internally behind the scenes, we were kind of coming up with, plan B, C, as far as, because, we got some pretty big projects coming up here and everything like that. Just so happened with the timing there, but obviously we're super happy for them and that whole family, and we're looking forward to seeing Ryan back here in the future. Not sure when. We're all just kind of working on that right now. So yeah.
I hope you're ready for like a 2-hour-long conversation when he comes back, because he hadn't talked to you for so long. He's just got to get it all out.
Oh yeah, I didn't think about that.
Enjoy it while you can, because
he also kind of has a shorter memory, though, I feel like, where it's like it's usually pretty recent stuff mainly.
Yeah.
Unless you talk to him about it like 48 hours within it happening, you're not going to hear about it.
Or he watches it on YouTube.
Or he watches it on YouTube or something like that. So, but joining us here today, taking the position, is fellow Omni Entertainment producer here, Mitch. You've been on the show before, been a minute, but glad to have you back, I guess.
I always stay updated though on week to week, what you guys the highlights of what y'all talked about, because I get fed the short footage to edit together. So make sure to follow us on social media, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, the good stuff.
All the fun things, yeah. The holy trinity of social media, if you will.
Correct.
In a weird way.
We also do have a, what's the meta version of X or Twitter?
Oh, we do still have threads.
Yes, we have a thread.
I get reminded every once in a while. We don't like actively post. When we put it on Instagram, it automatically gets put on there, and I totally forget about that. And then every once in a while, we get a notification like, you got a new like on Threads. I'm like, I totally forgot we had that. So yeah, we do also have that. Yes, that is correct. But I will say probably the last time you were like on camera here probably actually was the last Oscars watch party.
Yes.
Now that I think about it.
Even that though was kind of very much behind the scenes.
You were on for a little while. I think you were on for a minute or two.
Oh, gosh. Was I on with Reed then?
You might have been on with Reed, I think.
That makes sense.
I think it was towards the tail end of the show there. But we bring that up because that is something we want to talk about here. This weekend, just as a little reminder, is our second Oscars watch party happening again this Sunday, March 15th. The live stream will begin at 5:45 p.m. on our Omni Entertainment Facebook page. As you mentioned, we have those social media channels and all that sort of stuff. So not only do you have the chance to watch the Oscars with us, but you can participate in it as well. We have the Pick'em site all set up, ready to go to be part of the Oscars challenge. And we've talked about this in years past. Me and Ryan have done sort of Oscars challenge where we come up with a punishment for the loser or whatever. You don't have to worry about that.
What? You guys aren't doing that one this year?
I just mean like everyone else doesn't have to worry about being part of the... If like they lose to us, you don't have to worry about the punishment.
Okay,
we'll punish each other.
Okay.
But you're just in it for the fun of it and to see if you get a chance to maybe outguess us or outbeat us, point us, whatever you want to say.
You will definitely lose to me because I am the most movie buff person anyone's ever met. Just kidding.
I couldn't tell if you're being sarcastic or if you misspoke there for a minute. If you meant like you'll definitely win to me or whatever.
Nope.
But
nope.
Sarcasm. I do think a lot of people are worried like, well, I haven't seen any of the movies. Some people have said like, yeah, I haven't seen any of them. don't let that be in your way here. Just have fun with it. Guess your best.
Take Reed's approach and just guess for the popular vote.
I was going to say, he went for like Wicked in pretty much every category it was in.
Oh, did he?
I think. But
I thought he was saying he was going for every popular vote.
I think last year.
Oh,
I mean, last year he went for the Wicked one because Wicked showed up in a few, and it got him like 1 or 2 points for sure. But
not as many as he'd hope, probably.
Yeah, exactly. I'll say this, and I can't. I'd have to go back because I didn't save our Oscars pick 'em last year or whatever, so I don't know exactly how everyone did. But if I went back to the video, I'm sure I could find it. I'm pretty sure my mom got third.
That's crazy.
And I don't think she watched any of the Oscar movies. So don't think that that's a requirement. Don't think you need to do that.
Also, it should be said, though, that Nick's mom is just inherently good at guessing in a pick'em league. Because
this is true.
Yeah. She just has that talent. So
she has beaten me almost every year in football pick'em. And I would say I think I know more about that than her, I would say. But she just has that luck of the draw, I guess, whatever.
The real test would be if they have a NASCAR pick'em. That would be really where...
No, she knows more about NASCAR than she does with the NFL. That would actually be a little bit more of a closer one, I feel like. So,
okay.
But yeah, so again, you don't have to be an expert in this. Just guess on it, have some fun. We'll kind of talk about it throughout the show. We're going to try and introduce kind of a little live score bug for the top 5 as well. So maybe see if you can make it onto that. So yeah, again, that's going to be happening this weekend. The Pick'em is live, so you can make your picks now. Link for that will be in the description below.
Make sure to fill it out. I already filled mine out. Losers. I also had like 4 or 5 days beforehand.
I did too. I filled it out too.
I was going to say, if we're going to say anything, Carter signed up first.
Correct.
I don't know which one of you filled yours out.
I filled mine out this morning.
There's no bonus points in that.
Oh, Carter filled out his this morning? Oh, then I might have been the first one.
Because you did yours, what was it,
Sunday.
yesterday? Oh, yeah, it was Sunday.
Yeah.
Okay, so if there was bonus points for filling it out first, you'd get them, but there are no bonus points for that.
Dang
so
it.
I was still first in line.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't matter. People first in line at an airport don't get to sit first.
I was already sitting first in line.
Oh, man. Got him. Boom roasted. Self-burn.
Okay. Let's move on then to the opening spotlight here and talk about the Oscars. Again, some of you may not know anything of what's going on here, so we're going to try and break down as much of it here, as much as we can at least. Probably not going to be able to go over every category. There are quite a few, but we are going to at least tackle the big 5, technically 6, but they're called the big 5 categories here. These are the main ones. You have Best Screenplay Adapted, Best Screenplay Original, Best Actor, Best Actress, Best Director, and Best Pictures. We're going to talk about which ones kind of are the front runner, so that way you kind of know which one to maybe vote for here. We're gonna give you a little help here. We're asking you to do this pick'em thing. We're not just gonna throw you to the sharks. We're gonna give you a little advice here. So
is the big 5 and there's actually 6? Is that kind of like a Mighty 9 thing where there's not 9 people in the Critical Role cast, but there's actually only 7? But they say Mighty 9. That's a Critical Role reference for any of you listening.
If anything,
that
it's the opposite. It's just because they want to cover writing, acting, directing, and the Best Picture, whatever. But there's like 2 categories that are technically writing.
Oh.
So that's like the 1, but it's actually technically 2. So that's why it's called the big 5, but it's 6.
Could it be the actor-actress thing too, maybe?
No, actor-actress is usually its own separate thing.
So it's like when you fill out or you take the ACT and they give you that 5th writing option that no one ever does.
I don't even remember the ACT. I have no idea what you're talking about
there.
Man. So I think we're losing track of this metaphor here.
Yes, we are.
Yeah, let's just talk a little bit about some of these bigger categories here. Let's start with Best Screenplay Adapted. Here are the 5 nominees for it. You got Bugonia, Train Dreams, Hamnet, Frankenstein, as well as One Battle After Another. I'm trying to think here. There's actually a little bit more of a competitive, I would say, Oscars ceremony this year as years prior. However, we do still kind of have a couple front runners here. It's the ones that have the most nominations. Now, what's interesting is when you do look at the ones that have the most nominations, you have Sinners and One Battle After Another. And those 2 are going to be competing for a lot of these categories. However, this is one of the few where, because it's 2 separate, they're actually kind of the clear favorites in each of their own. So
nice.
One Battle After Another is part of the adapted screenplay one, so it's kind of the front runner here. whereas best screenplay with original, which is kind of the other subcategory here, Sinners is a part of that one. So whereas these two are usually going to be competing with every other category, here they're not competing against each other.
Okay.
So that's kind of that's going to be your front runners in almost every of these categories is One Battle After Another and Sinners. So here's one of the few where you can kind of actually separate those two and not have to worry about which one is competing over the other here. So that kind of is the very bare minimalist, quick way of talking about those two categories, really. Looking at Best Actor, here we have a very close competition here. I think this one's going to be one of the closer ones out of the big, one of the closer ones out of the big five. Let's talk about all the nominees here first and foremost. You got Ethan Hawke for Blue Moon, Wagner Moraes. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. He's from The Secret Agent. Leonardo DiCaprio, One Battle After Another. Timothée Chalamet in Marty Supreme. Michael B. Jordan in Sinners. I was going to say, are you saying woo or boo?
No, woo.
Okay. Yeah,
I'm excited. Sure. Woo.
Yeah, cool.
I'm not going to boo Michael B. Jordan.
Well, you first started saying like woo for Leo, so I wasn't sure.
I went like a soft woo.
Yeah, I know. It was a soft woo, so I couldn't tell if there was a B in front of it.
I was excited. I'm excited for Leo to because he's always chasing after the Oscars is always the one that is. I know he has one.
Yes, he does have one.
For Revenant.
Yep.
Great movie. Yep. But that's his only one, right?
For
that's
acting,
crazy.
Yep. I hate to say it, but there's not a lot of talk about him adding to that trophy case.
That's why it was a soft woo.
It was a soft woo. Okay, that makes
that's
more
why
sense.
Chalamet got a bigger woo, and then Michael B. Jordan, woo, yeah, woo.
So yeah, basically the two that a lot of people are looking at is Timothée Chalamet, Michael B. Jordan. These are the two front runners. Now, here's the interesting part. When you looked at award season, it started off that Chalamet was kind of winning all the big ones. I think he won Critics' Choice, and I think he won Golden Globes. But in the more recent awards, Michael B. Jordan has been taking this win. And I did read an article, I think it was in Variety or something like that, how they were talking about how they were talking to some of the Oscar voters, and some of them have maybe potentially been voting one way or the other because the argument was Timothée Chalamet is young. He'll win one later on or something like that.
See, I don't like that argument.
I hate that argument too. Absolutely. But
like if you do a great role when you're super young, you shouldn't be penalized because you're just young and you're like, oh, you have a great career. Like some stuff just happens and then your career gets derailed.
I would also like to point out Chadwick Boseman was young. He didn't have a chance to compete for it later on. You cannot use that as your excuse to say, we'll get to him later. Or something like that. So I don't know how much that sort of influence kind of was going through the voting pool before they had to submit all the votes and everything here. But it was interesting how it just kind of seemed like there was like a shift in the wind here. Literally, it was for the first half of the award season, Chalamet was winning, and then all of a sudden Michael B. Jordan was getting it and everything like that. So we'll have to see how that... It's almost kind of like they're tied. I don't know the exact amount of number or however that they've each got, but it feels like they're tied. And this is almost the tiebreaker.
And the Oscars is kind of like the finality, or oh my gosh, words. The final like award.
Yeah, this is the big one.
Yeah, so it's tied 2-2 or 1-1 in overtime. U.S. versus Canada.
Just to give you kind of an idea, on the Oscars pick'em thing, Timothée Chalamet is 58% picked, and Michael B. Jordan's 31%.
Oh.
So people are picking Chalamet more. On the pick'em, anyway, but the pick'em doesn't decide, obviously. So.
Yeah, I was gonna say that I highly doubt the Oscar voters who are part of this is picking on the pick'em. Although that'd
be very funny.
That is hilarious to me.
That would be awesome.
that actually is a very funny visual. Like Emma Stone, like just scrolling through, be like, "Oh, is that considered like rigging the game? Is that considered like if she voted for Chalamet and then all of a sudden she's clicking on Chalamet here too or something like that?" Or
100%.
That's like an NFL player betting on their own games.
Yeah. I don't know. That's kind of crazy.
I don't think NFL players can even play fantasy football. I know the coaches can, but the players
nor should they. I don't think they should.
I don't think they should, probably. But it's fun. I can't blame them. It'd be like, I'm sure it'd be fun for Emma Stone to go through the pick'em and be like, ooh, I know I voted for this one. I think this one's going to win.
I know there's a better chance for this one because I voted for it, so I know for sure there's a vote for it. I don't know. That is a funny visual, though. But speaking of Emma Stone and Best Actress, she is one of the nominees for that category. The other people include Kate Hudson from Song Sung Blue, Rose Byrne from If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You, Renate Reinslev. I'm sorry about name pronunciations. She's from Sentimental Value, as well as Jessie Buckley from Hamnet. Now, whereas Best Actor, we had a couple competing. Here, there's a pretty clear favorite. Pretty much everyone you talk to, Jessie Buckley for Hamnet is going for this one here. So something to definitely keep in mind for that. And I will also say her sort of momentum, I don't know if it's actually being fueled by this, but it is a huge help for her career right now. She was also in that movie, The Bride, that just came out this weekend. A lot of people have had a lot of good things to say about her in that movie as well. So, with that, and then, if she ends up winning an Oscar, things are looking pretty good for Jessie here, I'd say.
Hey, Jessie. Hey, Jessie.
Oh, God. It took me a second to realize what you were going for there, I feel like. But,
Yeah.
I tell you what, if she ends up winning this, I'll let you sing it into the mic on the live stream or something like that. Or we'll play that theme song during it or something like that.
Put it in the soundboard.
We'll put it in the soundboard. That's what if she wins, and she's like, hey, Jessie.
Hey, love it.
Let's move on to the Best Director category. Now, we talked a little bit about the competition between one battle after another, as well as Sinners. Here we have one of those rounds where these two are actually competing against each other. Paul Thomas Anderson is nominated, as well as Ryan Coogler. The other directors include Chloe Zhao for Hamnet, Joachim Trier for Sentimental Value, and Josh Safdie for Marty Supreme. But again, really the two everyone's looking at, Paul Thomas Anderson and Ryan Coogler here. And there's really not a clear leader here. This could go either way. This could be a coin flip.
Okay.
If I'm going to be completely honest here. I know which one I'm pulling for because I love Sinners, but I could totally see Paul Thomas Anderson taking this one as well. Like,
I don't know. I feel like from what I've heard about Sinners, I have not, spoiler, I haven't seen any of these movies. So take my opinion.
This is what happens when your co-host has a baby like 24 hours before filming.
Yep.
We get whoever we know is free at this time.
Yep. I'm pulling for Sinners. A lot of my picks were, I tried to not pick. I tried to try to get an advantage on the competition. Pick the lower percentage ones. Be like, I'm gonna get a one up on you. But I think a lot of the awards will probably go to Sinners, in my professional opinion.
Do we need to put professional in air quotes there or something like that?
Asterisk before and lowercase p on that professional.
I don't know. It's one of those. I feel like there's some years where you can kind of latch onto a movie and kind of go all in on that and it'll work for you. Sometimes it doesn't. I feel like there was one time, I can't remember what movie there was one a couple years ago. I was like, I'm going to go all in on this movie and pretty much pick all in this one, hope it just like sweeps. And that was one of the years Ryan really beat me. But, and I can't remember what movie it was now, but like, as much as I'd like to just go all in on Sinners and just hope it goes 16 for 16, which would be insane.
Well, I don't think it'll do a clean sweep. There's another movie in there that I picked every time it popped up on the pick'em. So,
which one was that one?
When you get to it, I'll
okay,
point it out. Spoilers, Nick.
Okay. Wait, if it's the one I'm thinking of, then it's not even competing against Sinners in any of these other categories.
No, it's not. Not the big five. No, it clicked in my head that that's not in any of those. It's like Nick knew it, Nick didn't know, and then Nick knew, and then I'm like, oh wait.
Actually, if I am thinking of the movie that you are thinking of, there is one category they are competing against.
Oh, okay.
If I'm thinking of the one you're thinking of,
I think you are.
I think I am too.
Yeah.
Okay.
X.
Okay. Yeah, we are. Okay, so yeah, like I said, Best Director, that one's a coin flip. I guess in a crazy world, if you really wanted to go for an upset, that actually did make sense. Chloe Zhao is kind of the third in this group.
Okay, and that's Hamnet, right?
Yeah, that was she was the director for Hamnet. So
okay, I don't mean to derail again, but Hamnet, quick synopsis bio on that.
So this is set, or one of the characters is William Shakespeare and his wife and their family, and their son dies from the plague, and this is what inspires him to write Hamlet.
Okay.
But the main character is the mom in this situation and the grief she's dealing with. So it's like William, he's dealing with it he writes a play, and she's like, why did you do that? Like, you didn't even write her son's name right or whatever. And it's like, but it's also kind of like, I don't know if I liked you doing that. Anyways, it takes a while for the plot to get going, but once it does kind of get going, I feel like it actually was pretty good. But
my two trains of thought, not seeing this movie at all, not seeing a trailer, not seeing any promotion for it at all. Like, first time I saw it was on the pickup. I was like, Hamlet. Okay, so it's either about Hamlet or it's about Hamilton. So, they're two very different plays, and I don't know which is which. So,
but you actually were close with Hamlet. So
I was.
There you go.
I was. Of the two, Hamlet was the more obvious choice. But I was like, could be related to Hamilton, maybe. It could be I just really love Hamilton.
I think it's more that.
I
do think next year we need to like sit you down and like make you guess what the plot of each Oscar-nominated movie is, just based on the title alone.
No,
or some random thing, or just like showing you the poster. I don't know. There's something there.
I mean,
Carter, write that down. Carter, write that down.
I do love the idea, but I'm gonna make such a fool of myself. It's going to be.
Yeah, that's the point.
Yeah, pure comedy. It'd be so good.
Yeah.
But let's move on to the big one here, Best Picture. This is the category that everyone goes for, that they opened it up to 10 nominees instead of the usual 5. Because people got mad like in 2008 or something like that. I don't know. It's a long story. But let's break down the 10 Best Picture nominees here. We got Bugonia, F1, Frankenstein, Hamnet, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, Sinners, Sentimental Value, The Secret Agent, and Train Dreams. Those are our 10 for this year. And I got to be honest, pretty stacked lineup here. A lot of good ones here. But again, we really are just looking at the 2.
Oh, man.
One Battle After Another and Sinners. Some could argue Marty Supreme would be the 3rd in that.
So Frankenstein is not.
I'd be willing to bet money. No.
Dang it. Shoot. Darn it.
I should make it so your bets are locked in. I don't know if I can do that because I control the pick 'em, but
I won't change them.
No, you can. You can. It's fine. Yeah, I mean, it's basically it's going to be interesting all night to see these two go toe to toe.
Yeah, it's kind of like you got like your main UFC fight, and then you got all the undercards. You're like, oh, that'd be kind of fun to watch, but I'm going to eat food and drink with my friends until the main card pops up, and then we'll watch it. It's like, yeah, the rest of these they're playing in the sandbox while the other two are having a kaiju battle.
I don't know. I saw that Paul Tyson fight, and I thought the fights before were actually more interesting. So I don't know. If
Nick, you picked a bad one to watch.
I don't know if that's indicative to all those types of fights. Okay.
No.
Okay. Fair enough.
You picked a bad one.
Fair enough.
Media got to you.
Yeah. Joke's on you. I actually didn't watch it because mine cut out before the main event. So, yeah. So anyways, like I said, those are the 2. If you had to pick an upset, I would say probably Marty Supreme. The other ones I want to talk about here, though, that are interesting is the 2 international films that made it onto this top 10 here. Mm-hmm. More often than not, we will see one sneak into the top 10 Best Picture. And then when that one happens, the other category is Best International Film. You almost automatically are like, well, okay, so that one's going to win that because it made the Best Picture. However, we have an interesting situation here because we have 2 international films for Best Picture, which means for the first time in I think since we started doing this, you also have a close race for international feature here as well. Like I said, this is a little bit more of a competitive year than I feel like most. And here we have Sentimental Value and The Secret Agent. I've seen this one go both ways. I think more people leaning towards Sentimental Value, though.
Do you think the Academy did that because they have seen if, Best Picture, if there's only one international film, that usually wins the Best International?
Just to, gain more interest for that category,
Yeah.
I wouldn't put it against them
to
do something like that because you could make the argument F1 being on this list was just because of the popular vote. Wanted to make it seem like it was a popular one.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't want to poo-poo on F1. F1 was great. I loved it. It was in my top 5, I think, of the year. But it's just not one you generally see in the Best Picture race, which is ironic because there's a lot of racing.
Yeah.
Pun not intended.
Sorry, I can take my tinfoil hat off now about the Academy. I just wanted a conspiracy.
No, I
play the music.
Again, I wouldn't put it past them doing something like that, I feel like. But it, at the very least, at the end of the day, it did what they would potentially want to do there, which is create a little bit more buzz, a little bit more interest.
Yeah, and I mean, like, the Oscars are clearly a U.S. audience show. Like, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Comment if I'm wrong. Not a lot of people outside of the U.S. care about the Oscars. Unless they're a big fan of, unless, like, they're from the country that the international film is from.
Yeah, I mean, so the two countries here represented, by the way, is Norway and Brazil. Okay. And we've seen Brazil in this, I think, running a few years here now, especially. So
they know how to make movies.
Yeah, I guess they do. But yeah, those are just kind of the thoughts here in general. I don't really know what else to say as far as Best Picture. Like I said, it's going to come down to those two. Mm-hmm. If I had to give an upset, yeah, probably Marty Supreme. And as much as I know we have fans of Frankenstein out there, sorry, it's a Netflix movie. It's just not going to win. It hasn't won a Best Picture. It's probably not going to in a long time. So,
shoot.
I just want to also wrap up this conversation and talk about what I think are potentially like these are locked in categories, ones that I think you have probably the best chance of winning these ones here. Best casting. This is a new category here this year. Sinners, I think, will win Best Casting, mainly because of the large ensemble you have here, especially. So it's also interesting because it was because of this category, because Sinners was nominated in it, that helped it achieve its record-breaking nominations number, which was 16. I think the record before was 14. So it still would have had the record with 15 if this category didn't exist, but it is interesting that it just kind of catapulted it a little bit farther. Right. Now it's just a little bit harder to break that record, I
was going to say, yeah, good luck.
The other one that I'm actually kind of, and I hesitant to call it a lock because nothing's guaranteed in this world, but one that I feel very confident in, animated feature, we got K-Pop Demon Hunters here.
Yes.
I don't see any of these other movies holding a candle to this one here.
Yeah, I mean, when the average, so I saw a stat a month and a half ago. The average watch per Netflix user, this has never been done before by any Netflix show, movie, anything. The average watch for K-Pop Demon Hunter per account is 1.15. Meaning, every Netflix account has watched it more than once. Average. Obviously, there are some Netflix accounts that haven't watched it.
To break that down, it basically just means a lot of people watched it once, but a lot of people watched it twice.
Yeah.
More than most. Yeah. Most often.
It's the only Netflix show to ever do that, which is, Netflix has been around for a minute. It was around when Blockbuster was around.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I feel pretty confident in that one, so much so that if it doesn't win, I'll karaoke sing Golden live on air or something. I don't know.
Yes. Camera.
Saying that out loud, I just feel like I jinxed myself. I may delete this footage, and then it's your word against mine.
Carter, get the hard drive out right now.
I'm already exporting.
Yeah. Yes. Beautiful. Beautiful. Well done. Well done. Well done.
Yeah. So some other ones that are probably pretty good guarantees here. Although Frankenstein, I do not think will have any chance for Best Picture. Costume design, makeup, hairstyling, they're going to give it those little lower categories. Yeah. They're going to give it some love, all that sort of stuff. Visual effects, Avatar, Fire and Ash. Every time an Avatar movie comes out, basically every other movie in that category is competing for second place. Yeah. That's just a fact of life. I would say original score, Sinners. Original song, you're probably going to win with Golden. However...
You don't think K-Pop Demon Hunter can get original...
I don't know if they're not nominated for original
they're
score.
Not? What?
That might have only just been live action movies.
Okay.
I think, actually. All right.
I was about to throw my hammer down on the Academy.
No.
Okay.
No. I think that's only live action movies there. So, that being said, if you are feeling a little bit of an upset, I'm going to make me call this as an upset here. Original song, I could see Sinners getting that one. I don't think I'm just saying if you really are feeling the adrenaline for an upset, for a big upset, I think this might be the one to potentially do it. Now, I'm not as confident as that to make some sort of stupid bet like karaoke singing Golden or anything like that.
Right.
For the record, if Golden loses an original song, I'm not singing. It's only if K-pop Demon Hunters loses animated feature. I just want to point that out there, make sure that's clear and everything like that. So I don't know. If out of all the upsets, maybe that's just the one I'm kind of maybe more praying for, because I rewatched the scene with that song in it, and I was reminded how I got goosebumps in the theater, and I got goosebumps again. So I don't know. This is a little bit more an interesting one. I have not seen this, but this is what I've read. If you want a lock on the live action short film, two people exchanging saliva. That's the title of the movie. Sorry to say, that's just it's just what it's called. I haven't looked in the summary of it. I kind of want to be.
They're kissing.
I'm going to assume that.
Unless they're taking like mouth swabs.
That's okay. We don't know. We don't have to. Look, I'm telling you that one so you don't have to watch it. Just put it down, pick it as that one. That's the one that's the front runner for live action short, all right? I just feel like you see that title and you just automatically like, that's weird. I don't want to do that one. And then I feel like a lot of people are going to lose that point. I'm trying to help y'all here. I'm doing.
If it doesn't win, you have to do like a
I'm not doing any more bets.
Do a reaction, like a YouTube reaction. You know how YouTubers react to like shows and movies and stuff?
Oh, where they're like super pissed off or something like that?
Yeah.
Like, how could two people exchange saliva not win
Correct.
live action short? Okay, I can maybe do something like that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
But it has to lose first, so. But those are some of our thoughts on this year's Oscar nominees. Let us know which ones you think are going to win or who you wish will win in the comments down below. And again, if you want to get all the answers to all these categories, who's winning, make sure to watch the Oscars live watch party this Sunday, March 15th at 5:45 p.m. over on the Omni Entertainment Facebook page. Hey, we talk a lot about movies on this channel, but sometimes the ones we talk about aren't the most accessible. That's where the Marshall-Lyon County Library comes in handy. They have a great collection of physical media, as well as a couple of online services with many options for movies, TV shows, and documentaries. It's easy. Just get your own library card at the Marshall-Lyon County Library and gain access to their large variety of movies, TV shows, and of course, books. Also, be sure to check back every month as we here at Popcorn Bucket List make specific movie recommendations based on a monthly theme. So head on over to the Marshall-Lyon County Library for some of our favorites and check out the channel to get even more movie recommendations. And now, on with the show! But let's move on to the weekly preview here, talk about all the movies coming out this weekend. It is going to be a slower weekend. Generally, movies don't come out this weekend because, the big movie fans are obviously busy on Sunday with the Oscars, so there's just not as many big ones here. We do have a few to talk about, however, all coming out Friday, March 13th. First one to talk about here, Reminders of Him. This one's coming straight to theaters, rated PG-13, from the same author who wrote It Ends With Us, as well as Regarding You. Both of those returned into movies. This is the latest novel that is also turned into a cinematic adaptation, where, and I'll be honest here, I kind of started writing, and then I got sidetracked, and then I forgot to finish writing here. So from what I remember, it was this couple, car accident, guy dies, girl lives, but she was at fault of it. I'm assuming drunk driving, although they didn't really show that in the trailer. I don't know. Turns out she had a kid, and the rest of the people aren't letting her see the kid anymore because they blame her for the accident, all that sort of stuff.
Yes, that's the gist of it.
And then she falls in love with the guy's best friend, who is at first trying to stop her.
Yeah, he hates her.
Yeah,
at first. So. Is that your thoughts on this?
Yeah, that's the summary of it, basically.
All right. Let me tell you. First, they hit you with a couple sad TikTok songs. Smart marketing by them for the trailer, I will say. I'm like, ooh, get me in my feels. And then, the first sad TikTok song, I was like, ooh, yeah, get me in my feels. And then they hit you with the stupid TikTok song from the TV show 911, where the asteroids are falling out of the sky. And I'm like, man, someone's too chronically online that helped make this trailer, because that took me immediately out of it. I was like, shoot, this sucks. Now all I'm thinking about at that moment was asteroids falling out of the sky. Everyone get cover. I need backup on 13th and Elm. what are you gonna do with asteroids? That's more me complaining about that show. And
I was gonna say this feels like a different tangent here, but
anyway,
it does make me kind of wish Colleen Hoover would now write a rom-com, but in the middle of an asteroid shower or whatever.
That would be hilarious.
I'm just Colleen, hit us up.
Yeah,
we'll sell you the rights to that or whatever. I don't know. This is I super wish that Ryan was here for this episode, just for this movie, because we had talked about It Ends With Us. We had talked about Regretting You. Regretting You was one of the ones that like made Ryan the most mad last year. And just watching this trailer, I feel like he would even have a more visceral reaction to this one.
Well, I understandably, I also wrote down that big glaring plot hole. How does she not know about the kid? Or maybe she does know about the kid, but like, how is it taking her this long to want to see the kid and know where the kid is?
She's not in prison long.
It's like 7. Is it 7 years? I can't remember. I think the trailer mentioned it.
Yeah, no, the trailer definitely mentions it. Oh, it was 7 years. It was 7 years. So the kid is grown up.
Yeah, sorry, that wasn't the plot. That was the twist. I did not see the twist happen because, you know, in the trailer they don't mention that there's a kid at all until like 3/4 of the way through. I was like, whoa, there's a kid? That's cool. Wild twist. No, the big plot hole, how does the best friend not recognize her when she's job hunting?
That's what I noticed too. Because it wasn't even that she was just job hunting. It was she got the job, I think, from the friend. And then all of a sudden later on, it was like someone pointed out, like, no, that's her.
Yeah.
It's like, dude,
Jail doesn't change you that much.
No.
It changes you for sure. Oh, I can't speak from experience. I'm assuming jail changes
Do we
a
need
person.
to work on our background check process for this channel?
Don't do that. Don't
from now, your grandfather did.
Yes.
From after this now.
Sweet. But yeah, like, how do you not recognize, like, she dated your best friend for years. Obviously enough to, like, have a kid with that you're taking care of. How do you not recognize the mom who, quote unquote, killed your best friend? Like, I wish Ryan was here too, because that's like, maybe the movie in its entirety will explain that plot hole, but the trailer is like, glaring plot hole here, see me now.
Because the only other thing it could be is that if somehow the friend hadn't met her before all this, so apparently he's close enough a friend of this guy to be entrusted with his daughter, but not close enough to have met his possible significant other. Yeah, it really doesn't line up.
Look,
there.
Nick, I'm drawing a hole. Oh, what's it in? It's in the plot because it's a plot hole. It's just ridiculous. And also the line setup of there was before him, there was during him, and then the car crashes. I'm like, what am I? And you know, I'm still having asteroids fall out of the sky in my head, so I'm like, what is going on? This is crazy.
Look, we've said this before. This is not our type of movie. This movie has its audience, but I will say, just from the trailer, this one, this story is struggling. I almost feel like we gotta watch this. Me, you, and Ryan, just as a little, just like another Cold Pursuit.
Yeah, please, that would be great. I would love that.
Anyways, yeah, let's stop bashing that one here. Let's move on to Undertone. This one's also coming to theaters. This one is rated R. Some people believe in the supernatural. Some people are skeptics. The main character in this movie is the latter, and she hosts a podcast where she reacts to supposed creepy content, whether that be video, audio, all that sort of stuff. However, one piece of audio may have actually had an effect on her. Now she must face the thing she never believed in. This is quite literally the definition of an indie movie, and I love it for that. You have essentially one singular character in one location throughout the entire movie. You're shaking your head. What are your thoughts on this one?
There's a podcast for everything nowadays. Knee slapper. Yeah, no. I mean, I don't like horror as a genre, so... I mean, as a person that works in media, it looks cool, but seriously, we're making a horror movie about a podcaster now.
That was always going to happen. There was no stopping that.
It's just like, can we... it's already such a saturated market.
So if you're complaining about making a movie about a podcaster, what if they wanted to make a movie about us?
What if somebody makes a movie about our podcast, and then because it comes out, we talk about it on this podcast because it's a movie coming out here?
That's
podcastception for you, folks.
So cool.
That's like super duper meta. And I don't know if I like that type of meta.
Because we just blew your freaking mind.
You did. You did. I'd be like, well, that means PBL is doing great.
Yeah, actually, that's pretty good for us. I don't know. Overall, I just kind of looking at the supernatural part of it here. Overall, I consider myself a skeptic for the most part. Whenever I see a video or audio, I'm always like, well, it could be this or this or whatever. That being said, I generally don't listen to these type of cursed audio or video things. Because they're always like, you watch this, or if you watch it, you'll be cursed in 7 days or whatever. Do I believe that's going to happen? Absolutely not.
Did you send the text chains?
No, I didn't do that.
Okay, good.
And I didn't do anything. I didn't do any email stuff. I didn't do any of those. But at the same time, like I said, I don't believe in any of this stuff. That being said, I never listen to this stuff because while my chances of being cursed are very, very low, are they zero?
Aren't you the guy that goes on ghost hunts?
We went on one ghost hunt, and it's because I wanted to find the proof, but there was no chance of us getting cursed by anything. There was no...
You never know when St. Nicholas might come back. That's a deep cut.
That's a deep cut to our older content for sure. Go check out that video, though, by the way.
Yeah.
I respect the supernatural. I don't how do I put this?
So you believe in The Rock, but you don't respect him.
What?
No, I flipped that.
What? I believe it. Dwayne Johnson?
Yeah.
I believe and respect him.
Oh, okay, good.
Because he's a real person.
That's true.
Okay, how about this? I respect a charging bull because I know of its power. However, I'm not going to be stepping into the ring anytime soon because I know what I'm getting into there. However, if the bull ring has like a little baby bull, I'll maybe dance with that a little bit. That was our ghost hunt. There was no demons or anything there.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
How do you know that?
Yeah.
Because they told us.
Well, okay, they can say they're professional.
Trust me, if you met the person running this, you knew she was no BS and she was like straightforward, like, don't mess with my ghosts.
She had a capital P on her professional title.
I'm still confused about the Rock question.
Yeah, what were you going with for that?
What is that?
From my interpretation is that you don't believe in ghosts or you don't believe in the supernatural, but you respect it. So in that same comparison, you don't believe in Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson,
but
you respect him.
But I've seen him on video many times.
He's literally
and I know
real.
He's there because I've seen the behind the scenes footage.
Get in the comments and defend me on my take.
The ghost thing is I don't believe in ghosts because I have not seen a video yet that is completely intangible, like can be completely not disproven, which is why I want to go on these ghost hunts because I want to be the guy to get that video. I want to be the guy to shoot it and be like, well, I know I didn't fake it because I shot it. Dwayne Johnson has been in interviews and movies and real life. People have touched him and interacted with him.
The Rock is real.
The Rock is real.
100%.
You can smell what he's cooking.
I don't know. He goes by Dwayne Johnson. He goes by Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. He goes by The Rock, and he cooks. So you never know with this guy.
I'm dying up here. I have no idea what the is going on.
Can you believe that the craziest conspiracy theory you've brought up is whether or not The Rock is real? Not the Oscars rigged the best picture to bring more attention to international film. Is The Rock real, though? I thought it was John Cena who we couldn't see. Let's just move on to the final movie here. We got Slated, also coming to theaters here, rated R. A Chinese-American teenager is trying everything she can to just fit in, but feels like her race is what's in the way of that. So she gets an experimental procedure that essentially turns her into a, white teenager. Really no other way to put it there. The movie clearly has a lot to say about looks, about race, about high school and societal pressures and all that sort of stuff here. You can tell just kind of by the description, it is a little bit of a crazy idea.
It is.
And we were kind of talking about this before, you kind of had some thoughts on it or whatever. What do you think about this movie? I guess I should say.
So I'll get my probably agreeable take out first. This reminds me a lot of the movie Substance, which I was forced to watch by Levi Magnuson. And it was gross. I was like, I hate this type of it's not body horror, but like...
No, Substance was definitely body horror.
Yeah, but like this one isn't to Substance's level, but it definitely flirts with that area of horror genre, if you might say. So I 3/4 of the way through the trailer, I was like, all right, I'm done. I get the gist of this. Thank you. Now, maybe more of a hot take. I don't love the title. I think it's insensitive. It's just dumb title.
I am curious if it's going to mean more in the movie itself. Obviously, sometimes we don't have that context. It's hard to put an hour and a 42-minute movie into a 2-minute trailer or whatever.
Yeah.
And all that sort of stuff. I will say, I think a lot of the concerns you kind of have, a lot of concerns a lot of other people have, kind of like, well, is this some sort of whitewashing thing? I'm like, well, that's the point. That's what they're going for. They're saying that's what's happening, and that is not the right move to do here. You have to kind of learn to love how you look, and, regardless of how people perceive you, and, if that's getting in the way, well, that's their fault. That's their thing they have to take care of. You shouldn't have to change who you are. And it's just a little bit more of a crazy sort of sci-fi way of doing that.
Yeah.
Similar to The Substance. It was, you can't help the way you look no matter how much you try. And we do try the craziest things. And it's sometimes, more often than not, bites us in the butt. And I think that's going to be kind of something similar here. The movie itself stars Shirley Chen as the teenager main character, but when the procedure happens, she gets essentially turned into McKenna Grace, who just is in everything these days.
I was going to say, she has, ever since Young Sheldon, just... And even she was even in stuff as like a child, too.
Yeah, she's one of the first things I think I saw her in was the movie Gifted. Yep. She's incredible at it, especially as a kid actor. But yeah, are we sure she doesn't have a clone?
Yeah, she might.
That might be the real sci-fi conspiracy theory here, is whether she has a clone or not.
Nick, why did you take my tinfoil hat?
I just always have it on, I think, actually.
Now you made it bigger. Now it's not going to fit.
Still not as crazy as does The Rock exist, by the way.
Oops.
But I don't know. I think it's got an interesting concept here.
Yeah.
But
it's definitely one I want to see.
Yeah.
And watch the movie in its entirety, because I do, I think it brings to light some serious topics that kids nowadays really need to. I doubt any kids are going to actually watch this, but it's
well, they shouldn't. It's rated R. So hopefully they don't.
I watched Halloween when I was 6, so.
Yeah, but that was 70s rated R. That was like that would be rated like PG-13 nowadays.
All right.
I'm just saying. Let's move on to the number one recommends here. Talk about some of the things we've seen recently that we think you should check out as well. Mitch, as our guest, I will let you go first.
I'll recommend Hoppers. It's, Disney Pixar original. You would think that, because it was Elio their last one, or which...
Yes, I believe Elio was the last one that they did.
So I get the feeling that most people are like, oh, they've fallen off. They can't make movies anymore. They don't. I would highly recommend going to watch this one. It does a really good job of making you cry, because it just hits you in the feels. And if you love animals, you're going to love it even more, because every time that I don't think this would spoil anything, but anytime that the humans are interacting with the animals and they can't, like, they're not talking to a person in animal version. God, I'm butchering this.
They're unable to communicate.
Yeah, and they just, like, are making sounds and, like, nudging you and stuff. Breaks your heart, just rips it out and says, oh, look, here's the bottom of my foot on your heart, squish. Just destroys you.
That was an interesting metaphor, to say the least.
Yeah.
Don't know if I needed that visual in my head, but I do agree with the rest of it. Yeah, Hoppers is probably one of the best Pixar movies in a while.
Yeah.
Here, I'd say at least the last few years for sure here. But so for my number one recommend, though, that I'm going to do for this week, although I do agree with Hoppers, that was a really good one. That is one of my favorite ones of the year, movies of the year so far. I'm going to recommend The Bride.
Okay.
Because we have essentially a new take on The Bride of Frankenstein, which is great because I love it. The fact that this character essentially is like 100 years old, just short of that, I guess. But we're still doing new things with it. We're still doing some pretty cool things with it in general. Like we said earlier on this episode, Jessie Buckley is the bride here, doing really good with that Hamnet movie as well. And Christian Bale is also great in this. Everyone's great in this for sure. Yeah, and the thing that I love the most about it is it tackles a lot of the same issues that the Frankenstein franchise has always tackled, which is like, okay, who's really the monster here?
Yeah.
You have the people who look like the monster, but like, who's really the monster here? Yeah. And that's what has made the original Frankenstein so great, and they have that in here. But they also, because it's set in 1935, they have a few more timely elements that are a little bit closer to what we kind of know and see today as well. So for me, it's kind of a perfect sort of retelling and reimagination of an old-timey character.
Yeah.
That's going to do it for us here on this episode of Popcorn Bucket List. Once again, remember to tune in to our Oscars Watch Party live stream this Sunday, 5:45. We're going live on Facebook on Omni Entertainment. Get your picks in before the show begins. I think it locks in maybe like right at start time or like 5 minutes before, something like that. Just don't try to procrastinate on it is what I'm trying to say here. So make sure you get those in. Not sure. We haven't determined yet if we're going to do a prize for first place, or we might just roast whoever comes in last place. We might use that as motivation. So
we'll decide at the watch party. So tune into the watch party so that way you know what prize you're going to get.
Regardless, there's going to be motivation there to not be in last.
And we're going to roast whoever gets last. Possibly me. We've already roasted me, though. So
yeah, it'd be too easy for you, I feel like, to do that. So, but again, link for that is in the description below. For myself, Mitch, and Carter, we'd like to thank you so much for watching, and we will see you at the movies.
Next time on PBL.
I don't say that. I've never said that.